Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live session. So let's quickly talk about the former president Buhari's death. Many people have been reacting on the social media. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the reactions coming from Nigerians on the social media because this came as a very big shock to so many people. Although before now we knew they said he was not feeling well, and the book launch from Garba Shehu and all that. So many people were saying that possibly he died before now, but they were trying to conceal it. You know how Nigerian politicians behave. So this death came as a very big surprise, to so many people because people didn't know that he's close to his grave. Now, the Tinubus government has moved to ask Shettima to go bring his body from the United Kingdom. There are questions about why the Tinubu chose Shettima to be the one to go and bring Buhari's dead body. A whole lot, And about, one interesting thing about these politicians is that under the leadership of former President Buhari, he had a lot of resources, at his disposal to have at least built one good hospital. This man wouldn't have died in the United Kingdom because he's still going to take taxpayers' money to bring down his body. It's not easy to bring, dead body from overseas to Nigeria. And then with other things that are going to follow it, these are all taxpayers' money being wasted. Many reactions on the social media. People are saying they will never forget Buhari. The answers that ended bloody and all that. So many reactions have been going on. But for me, my own personal reaction is that Buhari failed to give Nigerians very good hospital. We know he had a lot of resources. Don't forget all the money that were borrowed under the Buhari's government. We have the Paris Club reform that was sent to Nigeria. We have many Abacha loots that were returned to Nigeria. We had loans that were borrowed under this administration. All we needed was just at least one world-class hospital would have been enough to cater for the needs of these politicians. And when you look at Tinubu now, Tinubu is following the track record of Buhari because this is Tinubu's third year. He's not even thinking of setting up a world-class hospital. All he knows is if he feels sick, he flies to France. While Buhari, while he was in office, if he feels sick, he quickly flies to the UK. And finally, he has died in the UK. Anyway, we sympathize with the families, I know this is going to be a very big shock for his children. They wouldn't have ever thought of the father after leaving office, how long, 2 years plus now that he handed over to Tinubu only for him to die. And this is also a lesson to our political class, to our political class. Before we go into some of the reactions from Nigerians on the social media, I want to quickly say that, see, somebody like the sitting president, he was once a former senator. He gets pension as a former governor. Sorry. He was once a former senator. He receives pension. The wife was what's it called? A senator. She gets money as her pension. And now they are in Aso Rock. I want to tell you that, see, when you combine it with the businesses that Tinubu has, I'm just wondering where they are keeping all this wealth. Tinubu has a lot of businesses. Don't forget that so much is coming from the Lagos state into his purse. And then with his Lebanese counterparts, there are a lot of businesses that they own together: Eco Atlantic, Eco Hotel and Suites, Banana Island. All those big, rich estates in Lagos. Many of them are owned by Tinubu, and he makes a lot of money. He makes a lot of, only the one coming from Lagos alone. The question remains, what is he doing with all these resources, And at the same time, look at Nigeria today. We have many out-of-school children. Is Tinubu putting any efforts towards that? No. In Nigeria today, hunger is ravishing the country. Is he putting efforts towards that? No. And to even worsen it, these people are not being asked to use their own money to service the people. When you borrow that money, use it for the good of the people. But it doesn't work that way in Nigeria. So this is one of the lessons they must learn, that, you don't have your life in your hand. Buhari has gone, and he went so quickly, after leaving office. 2 years. So you can imagine if he had taking so much to himself, he did not have the time to enjoy that money. You know, a typical Nigerian politician, if they are living, they take land, they take houses. I know this is going to be a very big lesson to politicians like Wike them, Tinubu them, those that have been in power. And when they are living, they enrich themselves. You've heard Wike in Abuja. People are talking about him taking land to himself, giving land to his children. I mean, land that they are calling billions of dollars, not naira, you know, billions of dollars. Sometimes you begin to ask, what are they going to do with all this wealth? When Wike left River State, people were also saying he took a lot of land, houses for himself, money, and all that. And today in Abuja, the same news. Where are they going to keep all this wealth? I hope Buhari is going to be a lesson to our political class, those of them that feel they can rig election, get into power. You see, Buhari, he failed how many times trying to become president of Nigeria? Failed about 3 or 4 times before he eventually got to that position. And today he's no longer there to enjoy that position that he once cherished. He is gone and gone forever. And a whole lot of reactions are there. Nigerians are reacting. Some people are actually happy, that Buhari didn't rule us well. And like this person said, what will Nigerians remember former President Muhammadu Buhari for? What are you going to, you that is watching? What do you think Buhari did for Nigerians? Now, this person say, God, please, descending order. So this person is like, this first one has gone. Let the next one go. Can you imagine Nigerians? Oh, God. Look at the three people sitting here. This is Buhari, this is Tinubu, this is Atiku Abubakar. And somebody now crossed Buhari, that Buhari is gone. And he added and said, God, please, we need it in the descending order. So after this one, it should be the next person. Can you imagine this? That's to tell you, Nigerians, these are politicians. They don't even understand that what Nigerians are asking for are just minor things. Look at Peter Obi is being celebrated today. It's not because he did one big magic in Anambra, but there were little things Peter Obi did that people still connect to. Peter Obi will tell you that he went to all the schools in Anambra. He gave his number to all the students. He made sure he bought them computers. He made sure he bought them vehicles and gave them vehicles and told them, if you have any need, call me. He made sure the health sector was working. He showed those minor things. There was security in Anambra. He opened up many roads for rural people to bring their goods to the city, sell and make money. Just little things. You can imagine if Buhari had just used little money from the Paris club money that they got. That money, that big money that landed in Nigeria. They call it whether Paris club something that the politicians shared among themselves, governors and the rest of them. If they had just channeled that money, all the money Buhari borrowed, he told us he wants to be remembered, that he built infrastructure. Today, where are the infrastructure? We don't have one good hospital. Now, if Buhari is sick, he flies to London. If Tinubu is sick, he flies to France. If Atiku is sick, he flies to the UAE. Nigerians, what have we done to these people in this country? And this person just tweeted and said, God, please, descending order. It should be one after the other. Anyway, we are not wishing anybody death. I tell you, you see, this post now got up to 1,000 reposts. You see it there? Many people have reposted this thing, that these people should be buying one after the other. Can you imagine? 4.1 likes. And there are a lot of comments that follows it, which I may not go into. But that's just to tell you that when you have the opportunity to do good, please do it. And why that of Nigerian politicians is even more mind-boggling is because you are not asking them to use their money. It's our money, the money that we go and borrow. We are the ones to pay to repay. Just use it for our own good. They will refuse. Like Tinubu that is building Calabar Coastal Road. They say it's because of his estate in that direction. That's why he's putting all the money he's putting. He has given 15 trillion. Recently, he borrowed extra 1 point something trillion to add to that project. That is the only project Tinubu is focusing on in this country now. While you see other roads, there's this video I'm going to share with you. That video, the guy posted it today this morning. How trailers are falling on the road and people don't care. I mean, businesses are suffering, but it's not the business of these politicians. They don't care. They don't care. Now, I'm just going to take you through some of more reactions coming from Nigerians. I hope that yes, let me get more of the reactions from Nigerians. Okay, like this person said, what will you remember Buhari for? This person say hardship. Another person say he died in a London hospital because no hospital in Nigeria could manage his condition. That alone signifies a failure because he had the power to fix the health sector. For 8 years, in recent times, he had everything at his disposal. Buhari borrowed and borrowed and borrowed and borrowed. Just like Tinubu now is borrowing. Tinubu has even borrowed more than what Buhari and the PDP borrowed. Our money, our debt is climbing. Like the quality of life in Nigeria is depreciating. That is the kind of leaders we have in this country. It's all about them. 2027 is coming, election is coming. If all the money they are borrowing, they are keeping it for election, God knows. How they renovated ICC Center, event center with billions, I think 39 billion naira is what Nigerians cannot still believe, while teachers in the FCT are at home on strike because they were not paid. They said instead of 70,000 minimum wage, they were giving only 30K. And for that reason, they decided to go on strike. Children at home, teachers at home. But we use billions to renovate. So these are the things that differentiate Peter Obi. Peter Obi did not build all these big skyscraper buildings in Anambra. But you see those basic things. Look at Anambra schools today. They go to international platforms and win and come home because a solid foundation was laid. Children that were hawking on the street were brought back to the classroom. When you talk of technology, go to Anambra State. The secondary schools in Anambra, they are good in technology. They are good. The last competition is in English language. They are good in English. They are good in chemistry. Sciences. They are doing well. This is because somebody laid a very good foundation. But now, like we them, they build flyover. They build structures that eyes will see. But those little ones that eyes doesn't really see like that, those were the ones Peter Obi concentrated on. And these were the ones that translated more to the lives of people. It's not about building big projects that makes no sense. When this government came in, they quickly went to renovate Shettima's building in Abuja. They say it's a vice presidential lodge. Whether Shettima is living there or how many times did he even live there, we know how many billions they used. I think that was 21 billion. Before this ICC, this government just keep wasting money. If I tell you that just half of that money is enough to set up a good hospital that can attend to the needs of these politicians. But they can't do it because they have to travel. When Tinubu wants to go on holiday, he flies outside the country because there is no place to do it in Nigeria. So, Nigerians are not really happy that Buhari missed his chances to have written his name on a platter of gold. This person say, what happened in 2011 should again happen in 2015? By the grace of God, the dog and baboon will all be soaked in blood. Okay, I think that was a statement Buhari made, when he lost election, that when he was campaigning, that if the first loss that he lost in an election will repeat itself in 2015, that a dog and baboon will be soaked in blood, that he's ready to go to the extreme. So these are the things he's being remembered for a president or somebody aspiring to be a president to say if he loses election, then everywhere is going to be bloody. These are the things Buhari is being remembered for. And this other person here say Buhari is being remembered for bad governance, terrible leadership, as a wicked and evil man. And my desire is that God treats him the same way he treats people while he was still alive. Mean spirited, callous, miserable, sad creature deserves no mercy or empathy. You see how this person say everybody is coming raw on Buhari. This person say, let us remember that Ngige single-handedly destroy Nigeria's university system under Buhari's watch. Anyway, I don't know why this person is calling Ngige uh, Ngige single-handedly destroy. I don't know why. Please, if you know, let me know in the comment section. And do what is right in this life, and you will be remembered for your good when you are gone. We must never pretend or lie about those who contributed to Nigeria's downfall simply. So this person say, just do the much you can, do the little things that Nigerians want, not even big things. Give us water, give us light, give us health centers. These are some of the things Nigerians are asking for. This person say, ordering the massacre that died the youth of this country in Lekki toll gate. I can never forget that night. So this person is saying this is how she's going to remember Buhari, that Buhari ordered the massacre of Nigerian youths at the Lekki toll gate, that she will never forget that night. And this person calls Buhari a disciplined leader, that he's going to remember Buhari as a disciplined person. And this other person say, for all the bad and terrible things he did to our country. This is how this person is going to remember Buhari, all the bad things that he did in this country. This was during an interview session.
They would have no access to.
Let me see.
It's just like a dot in a circle. If they want to exist, they would have no access to anywhere. And the way they are spread all over the country, it's just like a dot in a circle. If they want to exist, they would have no access
I
to
couldn't
anywhere.
really hear what he said here very well.
And the way they are
This
spread
person say
all over the
painful
country.
exits. It's really painful, especially to his family. It will be a very big shock. 2 years after their father left office, all the money, all the pension, all the, when you are living as an ex-president, you get all the aids, drivers, and new cars, and all those stuffs. Buhari is no more to enjoy those stuff. So, guys, this is just a lesson to all the politicians in Nigeria who are just there to embezzle. They've finished this country. If you know how much Tinubu has borrowed, you will weep for this country. I mean, you weep for this country. This person say the amount of taxpayers' money stolen under former President Buhari's watch is enough to start a whole new country. It's enough. This person even tweeted this thing on the 22nd of May 2025. So it's not even in today's post, but he's trying to say that the amount of money that the Buhari's government, stole from Nigerians is enough to cater for a new country. These people, they don't care. This person say Muhammadu Buhari was a murderer. This was Lekki toll gate for those who have forgotten. The hundreds of people who was spied during SARS on Buhari's order. So he cannot escape this one. We all remember what happened that night when soldiers came, and just opened fire on protesters. I mean, that alone marked Buhari's leadership in Nigeria. No matter what he did, for him to have just ordered the buying of people who are just protesting. The protest, they say, is our constitutional right. Nigerians, we don't have our rights again in this country. If you protest, your life is not safe. Look at the election. That is another constitutional right for you to take decisions on how this country should be governed. They've already hijacked it. INEC is hijacked. Judiciary is hijacked. You have seen Tinubu's men coming out to say there is no vacancy in Aso Rock. It's not because they've given us governance that is enough to elect them in the next election, but it's because they already know that there is a formula already fixed on how, even if they are the one that lost, they flip, they will be a flip automatically, to declare them winners. That's why they are openly saying there is no vacancy in Aso Rock. Nobody makes such a statement in a democratic country. You allow the people to decide. You don't sit on in Aso Rock and tell Nigerians that there is no vacancy in Aso Rock. It will be wrong. And this person said, I'll definitely be okay. He will definitely be remembered for referring to Nigerian youths as lazy during the Commonwealth Business Forum in Westminster on April 18, 2028, 2018. Sorry. I can't remember any positive thing he and his children contributed to this nation, rather hardship and living on taxpayers' money. That of Tinubu is even worse now. I mean, that of Tinubu is even worse now, because at least to an extent, Buhari's wife later left Aso Rock. But Remi Tinubu is occupying that position as in, you know what I mean, as in first lady's office, and she wants her own budget for her office and all that. Where we don't have money, we are borrowing all this money, but we don't know how to use them judiciously. This person say he valued cows more than human lives. He championed the corruption that declared Tinubu winner of an election that Mr. Peter Obi won landslide. This one, everybody knows it, if you remember, even when Buhari went and voted, he voted and he showed people his ballot paper so that they will see where he voted. They will see that he voted APC, and then people, these are corruption. I mean, corrupt leaders. I mean, how can you vote and then you open your ballot sheet to show people that you've printed on APC, that as in they should follow suit? You are influencing the election, which is wrong, just because we are not living in a democratic environment. This person said Nigerians will remember him as the genesis of Nigeria's destruction. Bag of rice was 8K under Jonathan. A liter of fuel was 87 naira. Insecurity was restricted to Boko Haram and Yobe State, and it was being put to an end before 2015 general election. But it spread to all parts. After Buhari came in, it now spread to all parts. And today, after Buhari, Tinubu, and under their leadership, now we have what do they even call it? The new groups, the new terror groups that we now have in the north. Instead of stopping Boko Haram now comes to military bases, attack, take away armory, set fire, places ablaze, by the soldiers, and all that, a whole lot of things that APC has brought upon this country. And you still see some right-thinking human beings, people who have sense, who tell you that they want to vote for this government. You begin to wonder how much were they paid. This person said Naira redesign. We were using Naira to buy Naira. POS got to a point of sharing withdrawal 50-50 with me. That is, I withdraw 10K, I pay 5K. I lost value for my hard-earned money one morning, and I was buying less for huge amounts of money. ASU went on in-season strike months. These are all how Nigerians are remembering Buhari. So Tinubu, this is a very big lesson for him. He has ordered Shettima to go and bring Buhari's corpses back home. Nigerians are wondering, why did he choose Shettima? This person said, remembered for sponsoring Boko Haram after losing elections severally. This person said, destruction of our economy, setting us decades backward. Use it to jeopardize the lives of many brilliant youth. Japa syndrome destroyed many families and homes. Buhari no do well. Buhari no do well. So person wey don die since 2017, they just they take us catch cruise. Anyway, I don't want to go to this one because I don't really have a backing. If he died long ago, na dem sabi. This person said, to ensure fair election in Nigeria under the current administration, citizens must actively engage in peaceful civic action by organizing and mobilizing to demand comprehensive electoral reform. This includes peaceful demonstration or symbolic. I think this is very crucial. Let me just use this opportunity to say we really need to raise our voices. See, if this electoral reform doesn't happen, it will be difficult. No matter the level of support Peter Obi gets, it will be difficult for us to have this election conducted the normal way. Don't forget that Peter Obi won in 2023. What happened? They flipped the script. They now told us that they had a glitch. They mixed up the numbers and now declared Tinubu winner. So if we don't have electoral reforms, it's going to be very difficult, honestly, because these people, they already know what they are going to do. Tinubu could rig, let me say Tinubu could rig while he was not in Aso Rock, let alone now that he's in Aso Rock, and he's the one that is going to choose who is going to be the INEC chairman. So guys, that is it. I'm also going to share with you what Nigerians are saying, as in uh, what Nigerians are asking, why is Tinubu asking Shettima to be the one to go and bring Buhari's Buhari's corpse from the United Kingdom? I don't know why he decided to say that. Anyway, you know that Tinubu and Shettima, they've been having some hard time in their relationship. But this person said, can anyone explain why Tinubu is ordering Shettima to accompany the body of Buhari back to Nigeria? This is a question asked by this guy, and let's see what how Nigerians are reacting. This person say that one a family matter, it no concern me. This person say he hasn't been seen walking like Osibanjo did for Buhari. At least he should do some vice presidential job. So vice presidential job is to go and bring a dead person's body from the UK. This person say from doorman to national escort. This person say undertaker. So, guys, you can see how Nigerians are reacting. This person say because Shettima left his security responsibility in Nigeria to see Jubri in London to say goodbye to him, while Tinubu was going to kiss Escobar. Anyway, let's forget all those gists. This person say Tinubu is 10 steps ahead of the North. The death and appointment of Shettima to bring back the alleged corpse is a political setup. Tinubu wants to blackmail the North, then release MK, that's Nnamdi Kanu, to destabilize the East, while he focused on Lagos. Anyway, I don't know much about that, but anyway, nobody knows why he chose Shettima to be the one to accompany Buhari's corpses from the United Kingdoms. Possibly there is another reason behind that, which I cannot see. But I tell you, I believe that Tinubu himself must be panicking, because see, who knows if this is the judgment of God coming on these politicians, because see, they've done a whole lot of harm. And I mean, they've hurt Nigerians so much, they've hurt Nigerians. See how much food is today. The poor can no longer eat. People are finding it difficult to eat in Nigeria just because
We
of these
brought to you
leaders. It's really
earlier
so
on
sad.
that the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, died earlier on today, and we also have a breaking news story that he died earlier on in a London clinic, and this report comes from the former spokesperson of the president, Garba Shehu, indicating that the former president died in a London clinic. And we have our correspondent Fei Aande standing by to give us more on this heartbreaking story. Femi, we understand from what we've been getting earlier on from the former spokesman, Garba Shehu, that the president was recovering. What seems to have gone wrong? What do you know about this shocking news that has shattered many as we speak at the moment?
Hi, Esther. Well, indeed, it's really heartbreaking news. Lots of us do not know what indeed the president has been passing through. In most cases, issues of health are very personal and private. But you know that when President Muhammadu Buhari was president of Nigeria between 2015 to 2023, he also battled severe health issues. At that time, it was also not disclosed exactly what health condition he was dealing with. This kept him out of the country for a long time, and a lot of critics, piled pressure on him to resign. But he was able to wrap up his 2-year term as president and retired into a very quiet life from Daura. He moved back to Kaduna State. And, even when he fell sick again and was moved to London, where we later had that, he was recuperating, a lot of people did not know because of the quiet life President Muhammadu Buhari chose after retirement, after leaving office as president. But when people started to hear and ask questions, Garba Shehu had to, his spokesman when he was president, had to then come out to say, indeed, President Muhammad Buhari is recuperating, and they asked for, a private time. Everyone should respect his privacy and allow him attend to his health issues. There are also reports in the media, even though that was not confirmed by the vice president's spokesman, that President Bola Tinubu at some point at around 3rd of June deployed Vice President, or 3rd of July, I should say, deployed Vice President Kashim Shettima to London to see President Muhammadu Buhari and find out how he's doing, find out about his health. We also hear from that particular report we read on Sahara Reporters, though it cannot be independently verified, that President Bola Tinubu also spoke with President Muhammadu Buhari on phone. But it also goes to show the relationship that exists between these two men. And President Bola Tinubu was always looking out for his predecessor in office because they have a long-standing relationship. We are yet to get an official response from President Bola Tinubu as President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces reacting to President Muhammadu Buhari's death, because this news just became public at about 1 hour, less than 1 hour ago. But we know that President Bola Tinubu would have been briefed, would have received briefings, and would have also spoken to some close family members of President Muhammadu Buhari. So we hear he died in the London hospital. We do not have details now about plans for funeral, because as a Muslim, everyone is expecting that he will be buried according to Islamic rites, but there are no plans yet. We expect in the coming minutes and hours, a lot will begin to unfold, and a lot of more information will then be made public. Esther.
Yeah, indeed. While we wait for the rites of burial passing of the former president and the former leader, what are you hearing in terms of reactions? I can see a lot of reactions has been trailing the social media since the news broke about less than an hour ago. What have you been getting? Although you are yet to get news from the presidency, what can you tell us?
Well, a lot of people are already talking about it. Former President Muhammadu Buhari was born in 1947, December 17th, 1947. Died at the age of 82. He would have been 83 December this year. He died at the age of 82. He was first military president in between 1983 and 1985, before that administration or that military regime was ousted by President Ibrahim Babangida. But he also contested to become Nigeria's civilian president, democratically elected president, about 3 times before he eventually won at the polls in 2015, with the support of President Bola Tinubu, with that merger of the Action Congress of Nigeria and other opposition parties coalescing and forming the All Progressives Congress as we have it today. That was a very significant victory for President Muhammadu Buhari and the All Progressives Congress. And we already, of course, it's getting to election season. Politicking has started, and people were already talking about, a lot of people were even hoping to get President Muhammadu Buhari's support for their candidacy. So we're hearing reactions from them, like everyone is saying, well, indeed, the country has lost one very prominent citizen, but not at a time when everyone expected it. But well, it's death. No one is ever prepared for it. But well, these reactions will continue to come in, and not just within Nigeria. President Muhammad Buhari was also quite influential as the president and commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He met with President Joe Biden, with other at different occasions. And we expect to start getting reactions from these world leaders reacting to President Muhammad Buhari's death, commiserating with Nigeria on the death of the former president, immediate past president. Nigerians are also talking about it, talking about his life and times, his achievements, his legacies. and of course some of his missteps as president and commander-in-chief. Everyone is talking about it. It's a potpourri of opinions and views of President Muhammad Buhari's life and times. And don't forget, just about less than 2 weeks ago, Garba Shehu himself published a book, detailing some of the inner workings of the administration of President Muhammad Buhari while he was at the saddle as commander-in-chief of the armed forces. This also generated a lot of reaction among Nigerians. Well, people will still continue to talk. It's still going to get people talking, and we expect that a national mourning will also be announced for the country. We expect flags to fly at half-mast. That will be declared most likely from tomorrow because he was a former president of Nigeria. It's going to be a national mourning period from Nigeria, but we don't know how many days of mourning will be declared by President Bola Tinubu.
Right, I'll still keep you onto this because it is really a shocking news, like you mentioned, and many of us are just wondering how this happened, although we get to get a word from the presidency or what could be the likely cause. But just a little bit of a memory rather of the former president. What can you tell us about his legacies? If at all, you can just walk us through a bit of it, although we know him to be a man who says he is for everybody and he's for nobody. What can you tell us about some of his legacies that we will be best remembered for before we move on to our next issue of focus regarding the former president?
Well, one thing that President Muhammad Buhari was well known for, was his integrity, and that was what they used to sell him as a candidate at that time in 2015, and that was also what won him the election because Nigerians were tired of the system of corruption, misadministration, and a whole lot of issues affecting governance in the country. President Muhammad Buhari came as that man who will effect change, who will help tackle insecurity, who would help also fix the economy. Yes, he did his best. It was also quite challenging, but he was also able to achieve a lot. Also, in terms of infrastructure, there were so many road projects constructed across the country under him. In the southeast, they would also remember him for the construction of the second Niger Bridge. They were also a very significant and crucial infrastructure that were built across the country by President Muhammad Buhari's administration. And in the oil industry, they'll remember him for the Petroleum Industry Act that effectively helped, put aside the payments of fuel subsidy, which a lot of people agree that it has become an organized crime. President Muhammad Buhari's administration, through the signing of the Petroleum Industry Act, made away with that subsidy regime, which President Bola Tinubu's administration came on board and then sustained it. Even in the health sector, his achievements are quite clear there. There are so many turnaround of the country's tertiary hospitals across the country, including the primary health care center. He was also the president when Nigeria, when there was the global pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. It was quite interesting to see how he was also able to galvanize resources as the incident commander of the country, galvanize resources and everyone together to just help Nigeria flatten the curve of transmission. It was a very difficult moment for Nigeria. The economy went into recession about 2 times under President Muhammad Buhari's administration, but eventually he was able to pull resources together, put some policies in place that helped the country gradually come out of the doldrums and back on its feet. He also.
So guys, let me end that video. Sunday Igbohu has equally reacted to Buhari's death, and he is saying that Buhari wanted to buy him, and now Buhari is dead. Like you can see this headline here says, Buhari wanted to buy me years ago, but now he has died before me. Sunday Igbohu, Yoruba Nation activist, reacts to death of former president Buhari. Such is life. I don't know if he spoke in English. Let me just put it.
That is with you.
Okay, I think it's
Good
English.
evening, ladies and gentlemen. I thank God for my life today. My people, Buhari don't die. See life. See life. The Buhari criminal man that is sent DSS and military to come and kill me middle in the night in July 1st, 2021. He died today. See life. My people, we're supposed to learn about this. That criminal man, Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari, he don't die. See, I'm alive today. I thank God. God, thank you for my life today. Criminal Fulani man that is with some Yoruba, with some stupid Yoruba people that gang off and come to my house middle in the night. They try to take my life, but God said no. If God say yes, nobody can say no. God said no. See life. You don't die today. Thank God. God, I thank you.
So, guys, you can see that Sunday Igboho is giving testimony that he's thanking God. The person who came to kill him is actually dead while he is still alive. And, he's trying to say that the thing has backfired. So, it's really a lesson because, honestly, what Buhari did, there were so many things Buhari did wrongly. And, being a Fulani man, he's carrying Fulani on his head. Let me use that language to, describe it. He did everything to protect the Fulani race. We saw the APC leaders. Even till today, you can hardly see an APC member or leader come out to speak against the Fulanis. The governors cannot. Do you know recently, the governor of Imo State said he's giving Fulanis till 24th of July to stop open grazing. When I saw it on Twitter, I was reading the reactions. Some people say they are not sure. Where did he get the liver? Where did he get the liver to tell Fulani that I'm giving you 24 hours? So somebody even said that this might be the only thing Hope Uzodinma has done for Imo State if he actually stops, if he finally, stops the Fulanis from parading their cows all over the places in the city, outside the city. I believe that was as a result of it. There was this guy who made a video. He was driving and cows were just moving inside the city in Owerri, and the guy was like, see everywhere, see these cows. There is no direction, as if they are just moving around the city and all that. So possibly that was why Hope Uzodinma came out with that statement that he's giving the Fulani herdsmen 24 hours to stop this open grazing. But people are still doubting if it's going to insist that they should stop, or he just made a statement, mistakenly made a statement. Anyway, that is it. So Buhari is one of those people that really fought for the Fulanis. He defended the cause of the Fulanis. Don't forget that he even started building a railway to Niger, while the Southeast, which is one of the business hubs in Nigeria, was denied anything that has to do with rail. The Southeast needs seaport for where? Needs rail more than any other place, because when you look at the businesses in Onitsha, the businesses in Nnewi, the businesses in Lagos, these are commanded by mostly the Igbos. Just give them seaports, give them international airports, give them good roads and all that. These are just some of the things people are asking for. But Buhari chose to build railway that leads to Niger. That came with a lot of criticism. I don't know if they stopped it halfway or if they completed it, because now Nigeria and Niger are no longer in good terms. This person said the evil and useless Nigerian former president Buhari died in a hospital in the UK. Typical example of a useless African leader who seeks medical attention in Western countries because they failed to build a decent healthcare system at home. It's really shameful. It's really, really shameful. And it should be more shameful to the sitting president, who, even if his headache, he zooms out to France. If he has neck pain tomorrow morning now, fiam, he's in France. while Buhari was patronizing the UK, Tinubu is patronizing France. None of them is ready to build a hospital in Nigeria. Tell me what it will take them if the energy Tinubu is putting in the Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway, if that energy is channeled to building international of at least world class hospitals in different states in Nigeria. It's not as if we don't have the money. We do, but they cannot do it now. Why would they do it now that doctors are leaving, nurses are leaving? They are crying that people shouldn't japa. This person say very clueless. It wasn't even his disastrous 8 years that is painful to many of us Nigerians, but he had the opportunity to hand over to someone who may have been better than himself. Instead, he handed over to a more incompetent disaster than himself. Now he died without living to enjoy living to now he died without living to enjoy the Nigeria he created. So, Tinubu said him and Buhari, they agreed. He told Buhari, oh, yeah, you go. When you finish, it is my lifelong ambition to become president. And it is a Milokan. Now it is my turn. Nobody can stop me. All those people that try to even compete with Tinubu, up to today, they are Tinubu's enemies, like Amechi them, like Osibanjo them. All those people who did not surrender at that primaries to Tinubu, today, they remain Tinubu's enemies because Tinubu was like anybody that put head, I'm ready to crush. It's my turn. And that was how he became president. The APC keeps giving Nigerians the worst people to lead us. And that's why the country is not progressing. This person say, bro to bro, leave this insult to us, please. Don't ever in your life insult our first evil person to die early like that again. If you are not careful, we will tell Shettima, the undertaker, not only to bring Buhari's body from London to visit you too. Anyway, this should be a joke. Stay out of our business. So I'm just going to end this live session here, but you can see that Nigerians are really not happy with what Tinubu did while he was president of Nigeria. This is Tinubu's tweet, and it says, many of those misbehaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian Civil War. Those of us in the field for 30 months who went through the war, we treat them in the language. Okay, this was one of the statements Buhari made in those days when there was crisis in Imo State. He said he's going to go with full force. I think another disaster of the Buhari's government was the numerous Igbo boys, Igbo youths that were spied in Imo State under Hope Uzodinma. Because Buhari was so close, him and Hope Uzodinma, they were 5 and 6. Hope Uzodinma is that governor that allowed his people to be spied anyhow. He's not that too paddy with Tinubu. But you see, Buhari, Hope Uzodinma him and Buhari were 5 and 6. And he allowed many lives were wasted. I mean, they said they were looking for known gunmen, but guess what? They ended up buying so many innocent people. Buhari's regime was the worst. People said that Buhari took Nigeria like 50, 100 years backward. But you can see where Tinubu is now taking us to. This person said Buhari is officially dead. El-Rufai, Tinubu doesn't know what he's about to hit. Tinubu, okay, El-Rufai is saying that Tinubu doesn't know what is about to hit him. Tinubu is bargaining chips. Tinubu's bargaining chips has been blown out of water. The blackmail is over. The North means business. They don't want him in 2027. This is coming from Yusuf Abdullahi's contract is on. I don't know where this is coming from. Possibly the El-Rufai made his statement somewhere, but I've not found that statement. I would have shared with you guys. This person said the terrorists did 8 years ago, but they decided to announce today due to internal political turmoil. Anyway, guys, this is just an update for you to know that Nigerians are not happy with the Buhari's government, and now that he has spied so many people, for them is a jubilation time. So it's also a lesson to our politicians that when you are given the privilege to rule, rule us well. She been awaiting the sing for song. Govern us well. No, they take bribe. That is what a songwriter wrote. I just hope that Tinubu will learn from this. Tinubu is on life pension as an ex-governor, as an ex-senator, the wife as an ex-senator, and today both of them are in Aso Rock with all the businesses Tinubu has across Nigeria. You know, all the businesses, call it construction, call it real estate, call it anything. Many of the estates you see there in Abuja, they are all being controlled by Tinubu. So he makes a whole lot of money, but he still wants to become president. For what now? As he don't come now, what is the change Tinubu has brought to the table? Nigerians are yet to see. We are yet to see. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it at this point. I really want to appreciate you for joining me to share this moment with you guys, give you updates on what is happening. Buhari is late. It's a lesson to Nigerian politicians, to people like Wike them. They should learn. The Bible says, "Oh, ye sluggard, go to the ants and learn." I think these politicians, they really need to learn and learn their lessons. Now, Tinubu is saying Shettima should go and accompany the corpse of Buhari home. Nobody knows the reason for that. But nevertheless, there's no way he'll be buried there. You know, people were thinking because he's a Muslim, they would just quickly bury him there in the UK. But you can see now, this one is celebrity Muslim, so they have to bring his corpses home. We just wait to see how everything is going to unfold. Now, before I finally end this live session, I want to share this video with you guys where a British politician was just calling out Tinubu, saying, "How come Nigerians, even if you people want to elect the worst of president, you couldn't elect the one that at least is a bit presentable?" Let me share this video with you.
Corrupt elements go. Tinubu is a dog-eared and ragged example of a particular lack of quality. It seems to me if you're going to have a crook running your country, can't you at least have a more presentable one?
He said, if you are going to have a crook running your country, can't you have a more presentable one?
One that can spell his forged university certificate.
The one that can spell his forged university certificate
Properly. One that will not fight tooth and nail to stop his alma mater giving the public access to his educational qualification reports and records, rather, and data. One who will not be quite so transparently dingy, dodgy, and despicable as this current moth-eaten, dog-eared tyrant Tinubu is. Secondly, this. I have been, in one way or another, gently and crudely, threatened and browbeaten to give up my commentary on Nigerian politics by people whom I can only conclude have never heard of me before, know nothing about me, know nothing about my political life of over 50 years, because if they did know anything about me, they would know that the surest way to keep me going in a political campaign is to threaten me in order to get me to give it up. That doesn't work with me. Quite the opposite, Joan. When people threaten me, implicitly or explicitly, that just makes me the more determined to get to the bottom of what has been going on in Nigeria. Tinubu and gang, please note.
Oh my God. It says so. Let me be reading for you to see very well. I hope this thing appears. I wanted to like share with you. Okay, I think this is it. This is what this man said. A part of what he said. He said, if you are going to have a crook running your country. Can't you at least have a more presentable one that can spell his first university certificate properly? That's his name, George Galloway. He said, can't you get, so if it's a crook that you people want, Nigerians, you want to have a crook president, at least get one that can spell out what is in on the certificate that he graduated with. And it appears this man was actually threatened by the Tinubus camp. And he said, the worst thing you will do is to threaten me. If you threaten me, I will go all hard on you. That was what he said. He said, that since Tinubu got into office, he has been struggling with his reputation. He has really been struggling with his reputation. There is this video, Tinubu was in a BRICS meeting. He attended the BRICS meeting. Let me share with you when Tinubu was giving his speech. People ignored him. You will know that, oh my God, people don't have one respect for Nigeria. I mean, people are now looking down on us as a country. You need to see how they treated Tinubu in that meeting. You'll get to know that, see, Nigerians, this one is not just trying to criticize somebody. See, the world knows that Tinubu has allegations around him, and it's affecting him. You must have seen him most times if he goes to all this gathering. You hardly see world leaders come around him. He's always like alone and all that. I'm just trying to find a video I want to play. He's always like alone, and people just try to like stay away, distance him and all that. It's because of all these allegations. Do you know what it means to say that, oh, somebody forged his certificate, or somebody date of birth has 3 dates of birth, or somebody said he doesn't even know who his classmates are. All those stuffs now. I think this is the video. Let me share it with you.
Upset right now. Oh, please do not beg me. How dare they disrespect our president like that? Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the Jagaban of Lagos. Did you see how they treated the man at the BRICS summit? The intergovernmental organization comprising of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, aimed at greater economic and geopolitical integration among member states. Tinubu was there representing Nigeria. The man was speaking passionately. Okay, well, he was speaking. And trust me, he wasn't even saying balablu bulaba this time around. Only for the 2 men sitting behind him to I'm very upset right now. First of all, they removed their translation headphones, the one that they were supposed to use to hear what the man was saying. Maybe they thought he was about to say something very important, but then they waited, they listened, and then they decided, nah, I'm good. Can you imagine? How dare you? The next thing, phones came out. One of them was scrolling through his phone. The other one decided to join him, also scrolling through his phone. While the president was talking, one of them even had the audacity to bring out his AirPods, and he started vibing to something on his phone while the Jagaman was still talking. Abi, you dey whine me? Can you imagine this kind of disrespect? You cannot even pretend to be listening to the man, even if his speech is boring. He's still a president. Show some respect, Alhaji, in case you are watching, Emma Binujare, can you imagine? I was genuinely offended on behalf of Nigeria and the entire WhatsApp group of old African presidents. I was so upset too. But then, when I took a critical look at the peripheral level of that equation, maybe they tuned out, because even me, sometimes I tune out. I'm just saying, it's just that sometimes when the Nigerian president is talking like that, I'm like, where are we? See, God knows, I try to follow you, Alhaji, but it's not always easy. I'm not making an excuse for them. They were supposed to listen because they were in the public. Maybe I tuned out only once before, but it is because Tinubu's speeches are not inspiring. Half the time you need subtitles for the subtitles. Okay, that one is Buhari. I assure you.
I want to assure you, in this fight, I assure you that we shall do even better. I assure you, I will secure the country.
But Alhaji Jagaban, respectfully, you should fire your speechwriter. Ben, this thing is not by big grammar. You're no longer carrying people along, except when you speak from your heart, from your soroko soul. And more more importantly, people are tired of hearing big grammar that doesn't match with reality. You know what he was talking about when they tuned out? Well, he talked about fairer global governance. Meanwhile, is our government in Nigeria fair? I mean, especially to the common man. Does Nigeria care about its citizens? The man talked about climate justice in Africa, but Nigeria's deforestation is one of the worst in the entire world. Right now, trees are vanishing like NEPA lights in Nigeria. Are we doing anything major about that? He talked about strong health system in Africa, but the man cannot even treat common cold in his own country, Nigeria. He jumps on plane to go to London every time just for checkup. He also talked about empowering the youth in Africa, and I'm like, let young people try to protest in Lagos, or Abuja. The next thing you will hear is tear gas, water cannon, bullets. The kind of battalion that we've never seen in Zambisa forest, they will all come out. So you see, maybe those men weren't being rude by tuning out. Maybe they just read the news. Maybe they know that until African leaders start leading well at home, nobody will take them seriously abroad. So next time, Alaji, this is just between me and you, before you try to save Africa, because the man kept saying Africa, Africa, please, maybe you should start with your own country, Nigeria. And you're welcome, by the way. I know I'm giving you free advice and you're not even paying me. I'm just saying, you can always call me on speed dial, Alaji. So if you actually do the things you're talking about and you add more energy, and if you know that energy is going down, you can always step down and allow somebody else to do the job. But if you actually believe in what you are saying, nobody will take out their earphones now. Everybody will be like, yes, this is somebody talking. I have to listen. T for what? T for thanks.
So, guys, you have seen it. Tinubu, and going to the in the midst of others, he was speaking. They just ignored him. They removed their headphones. They were busy watching other things, listening to something else. The man even had to pull off his headphone and put on his earpiece to listen to possibly music or whatever from his phone. That's to tell you how the world sees Nigeria. How the world sees Nigeria. You just watched the Britain man that was saying that Tinubu is a crook. Even if Nigeria wants a crook, can't they go for a crook that can at least spell what he has on his forged certificates? Can you imagine that? So these are the problem we have with APC. APC will keep fielding the wrong person, and at the end, they will want to rig election and force the wrong people on us. So guys, I don't know what you make of these videos. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. In contrast, people have equally hailed Yaradua. Yaradua is also trending on Twitter. People are hailing him, saying he was really an amazing leader. Sad he did not really last that much. And I also want to use this opportunity to tell you people that the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, has, let me read it the way it is on Punch newspaper. It says Cameroon's president, Paul Biya, said on Sunday, that's today, he will be seeking an 8th term in office in October's election in a bid to extend his 43 years in power. He has been there for 43 years. He does not want to leave power. Somebody that he's almost buying, but he still wants to. I don't know how long he's going to keep Cameroonians in bondage, and it appears Cameroonians are really enjoying it because they don't tend to shake body. At least if they had been shaking bodies, by now world leaders would have added their mouth to tell this man to quit office, But he has been there for a very long time and he's not ready to leave. I don't know what his plans are, possibly for his children to take over. Even if his child wants to take over, why not now? He's still there. He can't really talk well. He can't move well. He can't hear well. When they bring him to events, you have to tell him what to say and all that. And now he's saying that he's still coming out again to seek another term. Africa, Sha. It's not only Nigeria. I mean, even other African countries are the worst. You must have seen the politician from Uganda that is contesting. The man behaves like, I don't know if he was an imbecile when he was small. He's not stable. He behaves like this, somehow like that. And he's like 86 years, and he's still in politics. So he still wants to vie for re-election. And I saw Ugandans, a kind of cheering him up. I know if this cannot even happen in Nigeria. You can't see somebody that is, and he appears to be wearing pampers, because you see it on his trousers. There was this sign that he was wearing something like Nigerians. Buhari knows what he went through now. Is it now Buhari is reviving a little? Everybody knew Buhari was very sick before that election, you know. So Nigerians cannot take it. But you know, this is the problem with Africa. The leaders want to remain there, even when they don't know what to do. Look at Buhari. Buhari didn't have his certificate. Wayek, he said he doesn't know where it is. He will tell us he left it at the military, this and that. There were stories. Look at Tinubus on certificate problem, forgery problem, dates of birth, 3 dates of birth, and a whole lot of things, you know. That is why many world leaders are running away from him. And you can see now Nigeria, Canada, UK, UAE, what is it called? United States and others. They are now slamming Nigeria with visa restrictions. So guys, it is really, really so sad that we are just going through what these leaders are doing to us. But we just hope that with Mr. Peter Obi, things will change in this country. I want to say a very big thank you for staying with me till now. That is giving you guys the update for what has just transpired. Buhari being a dead man. Today, some people are rejoicing, some are not happy. Just a few. I've hardly seen reactions where people are saying, oh, Buhari was this and that. No, people are saying, the man was wicked, the man was a tyrant, the man was this, the man was that, you know. The much he destroyed Nigeria, Tinubu has continued, because he told us that he would continue from where Buhari stopped. That's why the country is going in a negative direction. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me. We'll see some other time. Thank you and God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Please just give the video a like so that YouTube can recommend it for more people to watch. And let's see again some other time. Thank you and bye.